Okay, I'm just going to start, and then when Beth comes in,
okay,
we'll. So I'm rolling video right now.
Okay.
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 What's today's date? The 17th or the 16th?
Today is the 16th. I know because I have to turn in my dental insurance payment on the 16th of every month.
Okay, so it's July 16th, 2011. You ready?
Yes.
This says February 1960. I'm going to put it in front here so that I know what it is, so that I can put it on the screen. What is that?
February 1960. I think we were all living in Temple City, California, and this is your father sitting in the chair, and Kathleen with Greg behind him, and Rosemary and Beth, little Rosemary and Beth, and of course I'm taking the picture, and Chris still isn't born.
Which?
So that was taken before you were born.
Okay, what about that one?
This must have been taken the same time. February 1960, and you were born in August of 1960. I was already pregnant, but it's your father and me and Beth and Rosemary, but it looks like someone's behind Rosemary, doesn't it?
I can't tell. I don't think so.
Looks like Rosemary's left shoulder. Looks like somebody's body.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, it could be Greg. It could be Greg.
Okay, now what about this one?
It's taken at the same place, Temple City, California. That's right. It's your father, Beth, Rosemary, and Greg.
Okay, this one says January 1956.
Oh, this was taken back in Indiana. We all went to visit Mimi in Indiana. And this was at Mimi's house in Munster, Indiana. And Mimi is holding little Beth. And Kathy is sitting beside her and Greg on the floor. And that's me sitting next to Mimi. Evidently Rosemary's someplace else in the house.
Okay,
she's not in the picture.
What about that one?
Oh, this was taken. This was taken when we lived on Ivy Street, and it was taken. I can't tell if it was taken before Kathy was born or shortly after Kathy was born. So it could have been taken in 1945. Kathy was born in June of 45, so this could have been taken maybe in the summer of 45, probably in August.
Okay, this says May 9th, 1943.
May 1943. This was me in my Easter outfit, 1943, the year after I graduated high school. So I'm 19 years old, and in those days everybody wore a purse and a hat and gloves and shoes. Everything had to match. But I've got a corsage on. I can't understand. Oh, it was Mother's Day. May 9th, Mother's Day.
Well,
and in those days...
You weren't a mother yet.
No, I wasn't a mother. But in those days, on Mother's Day, everybody wore a carnation. Either a white carnation if your mother was gone, or a red carnation if your mother was still living. So you can see that I've got a white corsage on.
Wow, I never knew about that.
Yes. Oh yeah, everybody wore flowers on Mother's Day in those days. And this is Kathleen's first Holy Communion back in Temple City, California. And this is me holding little Kathleen when we lived in the duplex next to Mimi. So let's see, Kathleen looks about 6 months old. So this could be, let's see, June, probably, or maybe November, maybe 5 months old. This could be November of 1945.
Okay. What about that one?
And this is Kathleen, her first Holy Communion in Temple City, California. And Mimi bought her that beautiful dress. And Kathleen, God love her, she was a little klutzy. We were all
klutzy.
sitting.
She was klutzy?
Yes, a little klutzy. We were all sitting in the pews. Mimi came from Indiana, and your father and I, we were in the pews, and we were holding our breath, worried that she would trip and fall, and thank goodness she never did.
Okay, now this one you wrote on the back. Wait one moment. I'm going to show what you wrote on the back. You wrote, "Sun was in their eyes."
Sun was in their eyes. This is Greg and little Rosemary. And, well, all I can think is because Rosemary was born in California, this has to be in California, Temple City, California. So Rosemary looks about 2 years old. So Rosemary and Greg, what was the difference in their ages?
Greg was born in 48 and Rosemary in 53.
5 years difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, if Rosemary was 2 years old, so Greg is about 7, holding his airplane.
This one says October 1939.
1939. Oh, this is 1939. This is a picture that was taken even before we were married. 1939. So we were married in 1942. So that was 3 years before we were married. So your father was 19 when we were married, so your father is only 16 years old here.
Wow. Very well dressed for age 16. This says April 19th, 1953.
1953. Oh, this is in Temple City, California. We had just moved to Temple City, California, and it was right after Rosemary was born. So Rosemary was born March 13th, and this is April 19th. So in a little over a month old. Rosemary's a little over a month old, and there's Kathy sitting beside me, and Greg is sitting almost in your father's lap.
What about that one?
And this is when we were in the military. This could either be in Douglas, Arizona. In fact, I'm pretty sure this was Douglas, Arizona, and this was while your father was still a cadet. He wasn't an officer yet. He was still a cadet in Douglas, Arizona before he got his wings.
What about that one?
This is Greg's birthday, and October. Greg was born October 11th, so this was October 1951. 51, I think so. Anyway, and a couple of days before his birthday, Greg was very ill, and I had a vaporizer going in his crib, and I covered his crib with a sheet so that the vaporizer would help him breathe. And he got too close to the vaporizer, and you can see that his foot is all bandaged.
Wow.
And I felt so guilty because he burned his foot.
Yikes. This says January 1958.
This again was at Mimi's, visiting Mimi. It was just exactly like the other picture. You showed me one of these already, with Beth, with little Beth sitting in Mimi's lap, Kathy to her right and me to her left, and Greg clowning as he always did. He was on the floor in front, but Rosemary was someplace else in the house.
What about that one?
This was Douglas, Arizona. This was while your father was a cadet and before he became an officer and got his wings. And the other wives and I, Eleanor Dunn, and I forget the other girl's name, and Ruth Ham, she was from southern Indiana. We used to go swimming every day, and this day your father, the husbands were with us this day, so your father is in this same picture with me at the swimming pool in Douglas, Arizona. So this had to have been 1943. Yes, 1943.